So in this video, we're going to be going over how a niche Shopify store was able to get to $300 million. And we're going to dive right in. The store that I'm talking about is called Tecovas. And Tecovas is a boot brand. Now, they've expanded largely beyond just boots. But believe it or not, that is how the brand started. At least that's how I remember it. We're going to dive deep into this brand. First and foremost, I want to show you just how much momentum these guys are building in the direct-to-consumer world. But the really cool thing about them is that now they're also expanding into retail. So they're taking the next step, taking things to a new level. And I'm going to share with you also my thoughts on what that means for the future for other brands too. And that's all based on all of my e-commerce experience. I actually run an agency called Chemilab, and we've worked with some huge DTC clients. We're pretty small though and very lean, but we're overseeing over $9 million a year right now in ad spend on just Meta, which when you do that, they give you some pretty good support, and Meta gives us a lot of great advice. And one of the things that Tecovas did in order to reach this is exactly what Meta now recommends, which is actually tons of creative volume. Okay, so we're gonna dive right in. So I showed you the momentum, over 3.4 million monthly visitors right now to their Shopify store, and their ads library looks awesome. They got over 120 different active ads at once, and they're all beautiful. They're very much branded. They really cater to their target demographic and their brand image, which is actually really cool. So they have what I consider a really beautiful mix of volume, but then also aesthetics and brand image, which is one of the things that people often struggle with. I think brands think it's either one or the other, but you can literally have both. And I think this is the perfect example of that. So if we scroll all the way to the bottom, I like to do that when I do these research videos, largely because these are the videos that have been active for the longest. Therefore, they're the ones that we can learn a lot from because they have the most data. We're very data driven around here. So if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, welcome. I love to break these brands down and try to make it as valuable and entertaining as possible. We're just hanging out. Anyways, so here's one of their longest running ads. It says, "Revel in the details, the Nash and hazelnut." And then this says exotic roper, which is the name of the product, I believe. So let's see, the Nash. And then it's a beautiful landing page, very simple, very intuitive. And then, an exotic roper that revels in the details. So you see how the ad copy here, the Nash is an exotic roper boot featuring supple lizard leather hand lasted in our classic roper profile. You see it's kind of very much written for this like cowboy aesthetic. I don't even know how to explain it, but I can just feel exactly what their brand is. And that's part of the reason they're so big, right? They just own this market, at least to me. And that doesn't happen overnight. So we're going to go over this quick post by Drew Fallon. He's a Twitter guy. Actually, I should give him a follow. I thought I followed him. I guess not, but I always get his tweets anyway. So, on X, I guess you don't need to follow people to see their tweets, because I thought I was following him. I see his tweets all the time. But basically, he said, Western apparel brand Tecovas to cross $300 million in revenue. Tecovas, Austin-based Western footwear apparel and accessories brand, is set to cross $300 million in revenue this year, as disclosed by its CEO in a recent LinkedIn post. That's crazy. LinkedIn is literally like social media for some of the most successful, or just not even successful, but just some of the biggest CEOs out there. As disclosed by its CEO in a recent LinkedIn post, the company raised a $56 million Series C. So this is like the third or fourth time they've raised money in 2022, led by Elephant, which brought Elephant. That's a funny fund name, which brought total raise to $120 million. Tecovas launched in 2015 and crossed $100 million in sales 6 years later. So it's been exactly a decade since these guys launched. It took a decade to basically own the culture around this market, and basically through that own this market. Anyways, the growth strategy involved leveraging TikTok and creating branded content with Yellowstone stars Jen Landon and Jefferson White. That's interesting. I don't know, but I feel like this is probably not the biggest deal in the world, but maybe it was. Like, I think the TikTok probably actually drew more significance to it, but maybe not actually. Maybe we undervalue how much cultural significance, these like traditional media methods have. Certainly for me, I mean, I guess it's because I just watch YouTube all the time. I rarely, actually, I do watch some Netflix here and there. I'm excited for the new Stranger Things last few episodes or whatever. Let me know if you watch that too. Yeah, my point was basically that I feel like they've just really played the digital marketing game super strong. And this is kind of like I guess just adds fuel to the fire, but I don't think this is, like the biggest part of like the biggest leverage point, but maybe it was. Again, I have no idea. So anyways, the company had been purely DTC until 2019. So for 4 years only, they were purely on Shopify. When it opened its first retail store in Austin, Tecovas now has over 50 locations across the country. The footwear brand is becoming an attractive target for M&A. Here are some comps. Authentic Brand Groups acquired Sperry for 130 mil at a 0.65x sales valuation. Caleres acquired Start Weitzman for 105 million at a 0.43x sales multiple. 3G Capital acquired Skechers for 9.4 billion at 1x sales. Now that's a juicy one right there. Yeah, so the multiples in this niche are definitely not great, and that's actually an interesting thing that we can get from Drew's tweet here. Shout out to Drew. I love people who post research. It's just really nice to be able to see it and very succinctly like this. And I love the little chart too. Shout out to Iris. But anyways, so you can see it's just steadily growing. This is actually a super satisfying chart. And it's not so different from their traffic chart that we're seeing right now. So that's pretty cool to see. It's also cool to see it's 94% US. That's interesting. And yeah, so the multiples are pretty small, I guess, compared to what you see in the tech sector. I guess people are mostly drawn to that. So that somehow seems to be what we weigh everything against. But 1x sales is, if you're doing 9 billion in sales, you can get acquired for $9 billion. That's pretty crazy still. So it doesn't seem like let's assume they have a similar valuation. I would say they should, because they're very culturally relevant. Then yeah, they could sell the brand for 300 mil. That's pretty crazy. So let's look at now some of their social media pages. I want to show you just how they create this experience, right? So on Instagram, super clean, Forever West. That's such a clean little link in bio right there. That's crazy. I wonder if this is AI. When it comes to our retail partners, it's all about family. Meet our businesses that bring services to Westerns. So I guess, yeah, they're going heavy into the retail side of things. I think that's super cool. I actually think the future is probably more retail stores powered by Shopify, where they create experiences. Like I can envision, for example, retail stores with, coffee bars and things of that nature, so that some of these brands can curate a vibe specific to their brand image, right? But in person. I think that will be really big. And it seems like they're actually doing a lot of that. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they're raising so much capital, and I initially viewed it as like, oh, they're just probably buying inventory. But now I'm actually starting to think, wait, maybe they're actually acquiring retail locations, and this is going to be part of their growth strategy, mixed, of course, with what they've already mastered, which is digital marketing. You see, interestingly enough, on Pinterest, they're getting 4.1 million monthly views. So Pinterest has some traffic, but their following is super low, 5.2K followers. But still, 4.1 million monthly views. I don't know what actually determines a view on Pinterest. Maybe it's just somebody seeing your pin, in which case I would probably make a lot more branded pins, right? So people can like associate the brand. It's kind of like steak. I don't know if you guys keep any sort of attention to like the streaming world and the, Kick world with steak and, kind of the casino company. They do a lot of clipping for creators on Kick, streamers on Kick, and on a lot of those clips they put the steak logo in there. It's super obnoxious, but I think for Pinterest that could make sense, and you could have very tasteful branding elements in there in your pins. On YouTube, they're pretty much doing very little, but they are running ads. You can see this one has 1.5 million views in 2 months. They're totally running this as an ad. That's what that means. And it's super easy to run ads on YouTube. you just need the content. But guess what? With AI, you can make content like this all day these days that is fully compliant. In fact, at our agency, this is part of what we're rolling out. This is what I've been working on with my team for a while. We've actually developed a pretty intense AI lab internally. And you can see, for example, this right here is the kind of stuff that we can produce.
Hi everyone, we're out in Shibuya tonight, and
in just a matter of hours.
My little guy's loving all the lights. At Akemi Labs, we can create so much for you at a fraction of what others provide. Yeah, you tell them.
So if you need not even AI UGC, I was going to say AI ad avatars or B-rolls, we'll label it all for you. It'll be super nice. Just hit me up. Akemilab.com is our site. You can book a call with us, with our team, and then also you can just DM me on social media if you're interested in that kind of content. If you need the creative volume and you want just like the automation, and just hit us up. That's all I'm going to say, okay? But anyways, on TikTok, they got that same aesthetic that on Instagram. On Instagram, you know, they had the super clean Forever West bio, and here they got the same thing. But you can see actually on TikTok, it seems to have more of a personality. And you can see here an ad, one of their posts, 2.7 mil. This is probably an ad. And these are really, really clever ads. Actually, again, I'm not trying to promote, but we have been, for some clients, making ads like this with AI, where like you can see the product page. So even Tecovas, guys, you should hit me up. These are compliant ads. You know, we're not making ads where people are faking like they're users. They're spokespeople. There's a big difference. There's FTC details. I can't get too much into it. It's like super complicated and boring, but just trust me. But yeah, this ad is really simple. I mean, I don't know what she said. I don't want to get copyright claimed, but I'm sure she said, look, these are on sale. I love these. You know, she's wearing the cowgirl hat. You know, she is she's fitting the aesthetic, right? She's fitting the brand image. And it's these subtle little things, you know, that over time build up. They've been doing this for a decade, right? So they have all these, they just have so much data. You know, they know what works. Let's see this. Arriving at the Tecovas store. So yeah, they're putting a lot of hype into the retail stores, the experiences. This is cool. I mean, I'm a fan of boots. I actually have some Tecovas boots, and they're my favorite. So that's another cool thing. This brand's actually producing really quality stuff. So I'm really excited for them. I wish I knew more about these kind of deals, right? Like, I would have totally invested in Tecovas. I actually really believe in the brand and the vision. So I don't know if anybody out there can get me in these kind of rounds. I mean, I don't have like that kind of money or anything, but still, like I still have some money, and I have a lot of knowledge to contribute. So hit me up if you're in the venture capital world, if you're in the private equity world. I want to meet more people. You know, maybe, who knows, right? What could come out of that? But yeah, all in all, we kind of viewed the whole strategy here. Honestly, it's kind of simple. It's really, really dialed in customer avatars, really dialed in branding and community building through that. That's actually one thing that I found that they could improve upon, is their common response rate. You see, they're only responding to 1% of the comments on their Facebook page, which is like an indicator that they're not really putting their best foot forward when it comes to responding to comments. And I know that may sound like a small thing, but this affects your ads. This affects your brand trust, your conversion rates because of that, your customer satisfaction ratings. All of these things are actually a component of just simply answering your comments on time in your DMs. And that's what Smart Reply does. So Smart Reply is one of the AI tools that we use at our agency. It's one of my personal favorites to just automate your entire customer service. So I'm always going to talk about it. It's just extremely helpful and valuable, especially for lean brands, right? I'm a huge believer in the lean startup approach and keeping things extremely lean. So, I believe with just one strong human customer service rep and Smart Reply, with just those two, you can literally have a 9-figure customer service team. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually true. Smart Reply works 24/7. That's what people don't seem to understand. It works 24/7, and it's trained on your brand. So it actually perfectly responds. Like in the case of Tecovas, for example, with the agency, what we would do is we would run a huge, like we actually do set up smart reply for brands as well, but we do it even better than they do it. So we run a huge deep research report on the entire brand, the whole history, their products, their ads, everything. And then we train the customer service agent on smart reply on that data, all that information. So it's literally way better than a VA could ever do. So if you just have one customer service manager managing a whole suite of smart reply agents, you can literally have a 9-figure brand level customer service experience. I promise, because we literally have 9-figure brands that use smart reply. It's crazy. Anyways, all in all, this brand is beautiful. I wanted to break this down, just kind of explain how they did this. Like I said, it's a mix of creative volume, but it's really good quality, like really intentional, really branded, really strong brand image, culture building, etc. And they just continue to do that everywhere. You can see they're not just like blowing money on YouTube ads either. That like 1.5 million views in 2 months. They probably spend, maybe a little under 6 figures on this, which is not bad at this level, especially with this level of quality. So, and I could be wrong about that. I'm just basing it off of the data that we have at our agency from the Google ad management clients that we have. But yeah, lovely brand, super cool. I hope to see them reach 1 billion in the next few years. I actually did do a video on this brand years and years ago. You can find it on my channel somewhere. Hopefully some clippers out there. Eventually I want to have more clippers, right? Maybe you guys can find it. But for now, that's about it. Again, shout out to Drew for this post. That's what inspired this video. I actually kind of learned a lot from that. And that's about it. Peace out.